Hey everybody, it's Lenora from It's a New Dawn. How is everybody doing? I am back. I'm back. And like I told you all, I don't have a set plan as far as when I'm going to put out the podcast, how many times a week. So, just enjoy them when they come out. So I'm recording another one with this beautiful woman, Andrea Mairo.
Yay!
Right? Yes,
Hello.
that yeah, that I met through TikTok. Yeah, so like I said, in all the other podcasts, I've been meeting so many beautiful people on TikTok, connecting, making friends, and it has been a wonderful, wonderful trip that I hope it doesn't end anytime soon. But I met Andrea. What I did when I first decided to start my podcast again, I put a little announcement out on TikTok saying that if anybody was interested, if they had any stories of adversity that they came back from, that they would like to share with me on the podcast, just let me know, DM me. And Andrea was one of those people. So I'm going to let you just tell me what, and the audience, what your story is. And I'll pass the camera over to you, Andrea. So
Yeah,
take it
well,
away.
thank
Take it away.
thank you very much for having me. I love this. This is my first podcast, so this
Good.
is going to be fun for me. But yeah, I love TikTok and how great it's been. Such a positivity, especially through this time that we're going through right now in this world. I mean, we need all of that. And I have been so blessed to meet people like you. I just absolutely love it. And now I'm an empty nester. So I thought it was going to be hard, but I mean, I've kept myself busy and I have people like you that I get to talk to every day on there and look forward to seeing all your inspirational, yogas and all that stuff. So it's been great. I love it. But a
Thank
little bit
you.
about me. I will actually be 48 in December. And most people think that I am my son's older sister, which is great. I mean, tell me that in a few years when I hit 50.
Right, right, right,
But
right.
I was married and I've been married twice and I've been divorced twice. But I look at life as little lessons. And I could have been one of those people that just went depressed and, oh, poor, pitiful me. And I didn't. I never wanted to be that person. So I decided that I was going to kind of write a little book, trying to work on getting it published and stuff. But basically, it's about scars and pains and fears. And it's life's little bumps in the road. And everybody has them. And in some way, some shape, some form, everyone can relate to them. But what people don't realize is that scars can come in different forms, different shapes, and different ways. It doesn't have to be a cut from a surgery. A scar can be from a verbal abusive relationship. It can be growing up, how you were treated from your parents, whether you had strict parents or parents that didn't care and stuff like that. So some scars can be naked to the eye, and those scars can be the ones that are the deepest.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been somebody that I've always said it could be worse. Always. And my doctor back in 2006, I was a dancer for many, many years. I was in the Nutcracker as a Sugar Plum Fairy. And I, believe it or not, was standing in line going to go on a roller coaster ride, and my knee just gave out. So what started off that we thought, oh, I have a torn meniscus in my knee, I then discovered that I had a very serious problem with the bone in my knee that caused for many surgeries, and they just couldn't get it right. And then finally, and I believe this wholeheartedly, God sent me another doctor, and he was my angel and my savior. And I'll never forget the day I met him, and he told me, all this kind of stuff, and all I heard was break leg, transplant, surgery. And the rest of it was womp, 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 like Charlie Brown teacher.
Right, right, right.
And you always hear about those doctors that have that bedside manner, and you're like, eh. But he had that kind that was straightforward. And when it was all said and done, this man saved my leg. And I had 2 transplants by him. And I mean, if you see my TikTok, you know, I am running around, cutting yards and, pushing a mower and dancing around, and I get to walk in heels once in a while. And I got to fulfill a dream of becoming an actress and doing
What was wrong with
voiceover.
your knee? What was the
So
prognosis with you?
your knee bones come together and you have cartilage. Yes, my cartilage was deformed and it was deteriorating stuff, but I have what they call dancer's knee. So on top of that wear and tear, the bone was actually on the top part was disintegrating.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't prevent it from happening, but what they could do was take out the problem and put in a new piece of bone and new cartilage. And I had my first transplant the day after Christmas in 2007. And I thought that was great because my birthday is Christmas Eve. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
happy birthday, Merry Christmas to me, yay.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to medically break my leg in order to do the transplant. And I cannot take pain medication. I'm allergic to it. So I discovered, like, I went through the labor process, but I discovered that whole Lamaze and breathing and that meditation of just taking the time to breathe and let the body do what it needs to do. Wow. Amazing what it can do. And it was hard. I was in a wheelchair for 3 years, and I said I had, suffered some nerve damage, but I overcame it. After a year, they could take the hardware out, and he couldn't believe it because the day after surgery, I had to go back, and I walked in their office, and they couldn't believe it. And I became their success rate because he's one of the doctors that developed that procedure. And
Mm-hmm.
then I just happened to go on vacation and fell and broke the transplant and had to have another one. And he said, now understand, you're going to get another one. And this is it. Like, after this, we can't do any more. And I was lucky, within a month, I was back on the transplant list and had another transplant. But I'm going to tell you, that is one of the hardest letters and thank yous you will ever have to give somebody, to sit there and say thank you for that donation.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the biggest reasons why, when I did turn 40, I did a give back party. So I brought in all my nonprofits and everybody had to give back. And one of them was to sign up to become a donor. So
Wow, that's
it
awesome.
was, yeah. But I mean, look at me today now. I mean, I've lost 176 pounds. Um, I will
Well,
say,
let's get to that because that's part of the
yeah,
story, right?
yeah,
So you said that led you to your acting. So
yeah.
tell me about your acting.
So 3 weeks, another surgery I had was neck surgery. 3 weeks after I had had neck surgery, um, I got my first TV acting show, and it was with my ex-husband, and I loved it. I did my first commercial when I was 19. And it was no big deal. I mean, it was just something to do. I was young, but I didn't want to pursue it or do anything big with it because by that time I had fallen in love with my first husband. We got married, had children, or son. And so I just didn't pursue it or anything like that. Thought that as an Italian woman, you're raised to be a mom, take care of your husband, take care of your family, do what needs to be done, you know. But
Make the sauce and the
yeah,
meatballs and the
right.
chicken soup,
And
homemade chicken
and
soup.
and I just happened to marry the most southern person in the world, so I had to educate him on how to eat properly with Italian food. So my second husband used to say that he was a redneck Italian. He's true blue Georgia boy, Southern. But then when he met me, he became a refined redneck that loved Italian food.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I just love it. Like, I've done commercials now, I've done movies, I've done television shows, I've had speaking roles, I've done reenactment of real cases of murder mysteries and stuff like that. So
Well,
I love it.
what are some of the things that maybe the audience would know? Anything?
Um, yeah, my speaking role was a television show called Personal Injury Court, and I play the mom to a case where a kid's hand got put through an industrial shredder.
Oh,
And
you mean that stuff isn't real?
the cases are no, the cases are real because the pictures
Oh,
you
okay.
see and stuff are real. But like the person that played my son, that person is a minor in real life, so they can't be on television and stuff. And some of these
Who is the
cases are
judge?
correct.
Who is the judge?
Gino, I
Gina.
don't remember how to pronounce his last name.
Oh, okay. Because
Down
my
here,
son did. Yeah, my son did one of those
yeah,
acting things. He's
hmm
in California.
yeah,
It was a blonde-haired woman judge. I don't
yeah.
remember her name.
This guy was new, and it was the first season
Oh,
that
okay.
it's been out. Yeah, but we have
Okay.
it down here on the CW channel.
I think we have the same channel.
Yeah,
I think we do.
yeah, but it's called personal injury.
You're in Georgia? No.
Correct.
You are in Georgia. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead. What happened from there?
From there, and then I've also done a reenactment for season 10 of Killer Couples, which you have to remember, you're having fun and you're doing a role, but you also have to remember this is a real case where I'm playing the mom of this child who he actually killed a man in real life. So it's fun and games when we're on set and stuff, but there's a part where, and I'm one of those people that I can bring that emotion and I can cry on command. And that was one of the main reasons why I got that position. And then also the one on personal injury, because I could be that mama bear, but I could also be that emotional person that they need. And I've always been good at those, no matter what. And it like that one we had to go up to Knoxville to do. But I loved working with it. Now, once you've done one of those shows, you can't do another one for a couple of years because they have to rotate people out. Now you can do other shows, but that particular one I couldn't go back and do a show with them. So
did you have some kind of career before all the acting?
Actually I used to be an office manager to a financial firm, and then I was third in charge of running a chemical plant.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then you're dancing, like how far did you
Dancing,
go with dancing? Because if your knee was that worn, and I'm assuming your neck was from the dancing also?
the neck was actually from a car accident.
Well, I don't know about a car accident.
Yeah,
Did
the
you tell
neck.
him?
No, the neck was. I was in a couple of car accidents where I'd had a whiplash, and a lot of people just think, okay, you have whiplash, you can take care of it. But what happens is if you have an injury like that, and then you don't do the proper physical therapy, you can develop what they call a bone spur. And I unfortunately developed a bone spur that cut into the nerve and was puncturing my spinal cord.
Okay.
So I was blacking out from the pain, and it was right where my trachea was. So had I been in another accident or had I fallen, my neck could have snapped and killed me. I mean,
Yeah.
no lie, when my doctor saw that MRI, he immediately put me on the table. And
Okay.
I went for years of always screaming about, oh, my shoulder hurts, my shoulder. Or if you tell them that your arm goes numb, because my arm, it was the left arm, and being over 40, they automatically think, oh, it's her heart, it's her heart, it's her heart. So I went through all of that stuff because my family has heart history. And it wasn't. It was in my neck. It was a bone spur. And all my doctor did is he had me put my wrist up, and he said, don't let me pull your hand down. And I thought he was doing like a trick. And I thought he was messing with me because I couldn't hold my hand up to save my life. And he goes, no. He like hit the emergency button in the doctor's office room. And he called the nurse and he goes, see if they can do an MRI right now. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I said, you got to knock me out doing MRI. I'm claustrophobic because I know they're going to have to tie me down. And he goes, I want an MRI before the end of the week. And he got that MRI, and I was on the table within 2 weeks. It was that scary. And it was all the way. I mean, I have pictures of it. It's just incredible.
Wow.
But he saved my life. And when he did that, I was like, okay. So when it came time to do the lower back surgery, I completely trusted him, and look at me now. I mean, he even said, it's amazing.
So now you have back surgery.
Correct. I've had 37 surgeries.
Oh, okay. And these are all, they're not, well, I feel like they're all connected, but
Right.
tell me, like, why now you're back?
The lower back.
We don't have to go through all 37,
No,
but
I know.
what is in your book? Like, I'm sure you have that in your book as far as scars
Oh
and pain and
yeah.
fear.
Yeah, I mean, like, just to give an example, I mean, like, you break it down to having a life alteration events, from something that happened to me when I was a child, where my next door neighbor, molested me, to the point where at 19 I was raped. And it not taking over my life and controlling me, it made me that stronger person that I wanted to become a cop. And then becoming a police officer and starting to go through the training process, I had already been one that wanted to do that kind of stuff, because I did work for an amusement park and I was undercover for them. So back in the day, we used to have like little belt tilts where people could take actual cash and give you cash back and change and stuff like that. Well, I was the person that was hanging out with all the boys and all the guys and girls and busting them that was stealing the money. And nobody ever knew that it was me, because I was just sweet and innocent, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So
Hey, you just went out for a second with your sound. Hold on, people. I think we're back. Sorry, podcast people.
Okay,
We're
sorry
trying
about
to get
that.
this. Yeah, we're trying to get the sound back. Thank you, podcast
Okay,
people, for holding
I
on.
got it. Sorry.
Okay,
I
okay.
thought I
So
turned that off.
no. So I'm interested only if you want to talk about it.
No,
I
I'm
know.
an open book, honey. I
Okay.
don't mind.
Well, I know what a huge role my abuse played in my future.
Mhm.
Uh, your abuse, how much do you think that played a future in the how or a role in how you were as a child, as a teenager, as an adult? How
I
much
can
do you
tell
think that affected you?
it affected me a lot in certain ways, but it didn't affect me to make me that psychotic person. It did make me want to find love in a different way than most people want to find love. Like, you want to find that person to love you and just everything about you. But I want to give back more than somebody wants to give me. And that's hard for people to understand, because I'm one of those people that love hard. And sometimes that's too much for people. But I'm very open, I'm very honest. I'll give all, sometimes they'll say, well, you don't have to tell me everything. And that's just who I am, because I feel like if I'm not telling that person everything or giving them information, I don't want to give them a reason to suspect that I'm doing something wrong, or think that I'm, not into them, or whatever the case may be. Where it came to trust, the problem was, growing up in my family, mom was brush it under the rug. Don't tell your father, because growing up Italian, daddy would have went after him.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a situation that I could go and talk to anybody with. So it was kind of like, keep it to myself. So as I got older and it got out there that I could talk to people about it, then I could educate. So now what I'll do, especially when I'm on movie sets or television sets, we'll have nights where it's at nighttime and it's time to leave. And I'm the girl who goes, no, ma'am, you're getting off that bus and I'm following you, or you're going to stick with me, or I'll light up the street so that you can get in your car safely. Like, I'm the one to protect them. If they have their cell phones on set and these girls put their IDs, I'll just simply go up to them and say, hey, turn your ID around. You don't need somebody seeing your address. And
Mm-hmm.
they're like, because these kids don't think about that kind of stuff.
They
And
don't.
I'm that person that sees that little detail, that if it's just one person that I could help and possibly save them from somebody getting information that doesn't need to be out there, I'm happy with that. Perfectly
Mm-hmm.
happy with that. And
Mm-hmm.
I just look at it like that's the bigger picture for me. And I've always said it in a million years. Whenever I've had the surgery, whenever, with the knee and everything, the doctor come back and I can say, you know what, it could be worse. And he finally came up to me one day. He goes, Andrea, you're always saying that. He goes, what in the world could ever be worse than if I have to tell you I have to take your leg? I said, death. That's
Yeah.
the worst thing that could happen. I said, if you have to take my leg, I said, just give me one of them bouncy ones. I could be like Tigger. And off I could go. And he just started busting out laughing. And he goes, that's the reason why I'm willing to work with you. He said, because you have that mindset that it doesn't matter what your outcome's going to be, you're going to be okay. And I said, absolutely. And even when I was in the wheelchair, I never waited for somebody. I taught myself how to drive left footed. And I just laid, because for a long time I couldn't bend my knee because I couldn't have staples. I had to have stitches. And I would just figure out how to get up inside my truck, get my wheelchair inside my truck, and I taught myself how to drive left footed. And off I went to the store, and I didn't care. And I had an actual 2x4 that would stick out from the wheelchair where my leg would lay on top of it so I couldn't bend my knee and people would know not to run into me.
Right, right.
So,
I agree with you. I mean, that
yeah,
is my mantra, one of my mantras, many mantras, but it could always be worse. Always.
yeah,
It
always.
always be worse,
Yeah.
you know?
And then from that saying, he was like, he made the comment, he goes, you always find the silver lining. And I looked at him like, no. I said, I know my worth. I said, I don't look for the silver lining. I'm going for gold or platinum. I mean, I got high standards. I want gold or platinum. And he just loved it. And
That
I've used that a lot on different
that's
segments.
great.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. It reminds me as you're talking, I do my gratefuls every time I go out and run in the morning, and I do 5 gratefuls that are true that have happened, and
Yep.
then 5 like they've already happened, but haven't. So a lot of times you don't put any limit on them.
Right.
You don't have, so I'll say, I'm grateful for all the money in the bank that I would ever want or need for the rest of
Yeah.
my life. There's no limit for me.
Yeah.
No. So
Well, and
nothing is too much to ask for.
exactly. And
No.
it's so funny that you talk about that too, because like I used to go and get my nails done all the time. Now I went to school. I can do my own nails. But it was nice to have that communication with someone, and I became friends with her and stuff. And she gave me this envelope for her Chinese New Year, and it had a $2 bill. And she goes, now you keep it in your wallet. And as long as you keep this in your wallet, you will always have money in your wallet. She goes, even if it's just 2 cents, because then somebody can't say that you don't have 2 cents. And I
That's a
kid
good
you
one.
not, I've never taken it out. It's in my wallet, and I've always had some kind of money or change in my wallet. It's
No,
crazy.
I believe in that stuff. Believe
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
So go ahead. Keep
yeah.
telling me. Tell me
So,
story, girl.
so another part of the book that I'm doing about scars and fears is people have anxiety over certain things. People can say, "Oh, I'm scared of a spider. Oh, I'm scared of a snake." But there are phobias out there where people can actually have a phobia that they can't look at something like a honeycomb. They can't look at something like a sponge because it has all the holes in it. That's an actual phobia. So I have a phobia of frogs. And I always make it a joke because the most poisonous animal on the world is a frog. The most venomous animal in the world is a box jellyfish. But you show me a snake, I just walk away from it. No big deal. A frog, I will scream like a 2-year-old just got her leg smacked.
Wow.
I will run. And I don't know why, but I do know that growing up as a child, like rubber snakes, rubber rats, stuff like that, same thing. Straight up screaming, panic attack, can't breathe, will like beat somebody to try to get away from them. Somewhere out there is a video at Walmart. Now, this is back when I was 350 pounds. The ex-husband's on one end of the aisle. The son is on the other end of the aisle, and each of them have a rubber snake. I didn't even try to get past them. I'm just the fat lady trying to climb over over the
So
shelving.
is this a video you said? Like
There's a security surveillance camera
a
somewhere
security
out
video.
there. Yeah,
I thought you were afraid of snakes though.
I'm
You said
not,
you're
but it was a rubber snake. So the rubber, the rubber rats, the
so
rubber
you're
snakes.
afraid of rubber snakes, not real snakes.
Right, correct. Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah. Well, and here's why. As a joke, growing up, because I am a twin, and then my younger sister, there's 9.5 years younger. She's 9.5 years younger than me. And growing up, they thought it would be cute to put these in the foot of my bed so that when I would get into bed at night, it would hit my foot and then I would just scream. So it triggered an issue with me that just lasted my whole life. And it doesn't matter what I've tried to do, it just doesn't stop. I mean, like I can't make it go away. But it's just one of those things. And I was actually dating someone, and I stepped outside to take the trash out one night, and there was a bullfrog. And I mean, we have bullfrogs down here. And I trying to breathe, and my son knows what to do. My son knew, okay, mom, breathe. It's okay. And he knows to hold me, and it's okay. Well, at the time I was dating someone, and he thought it would be funny to send me a picture on my cell phone of a frog. And once my son got me calmed down, it triggered all of that again to the point where I threw my phone, went right back into the panic attack. My son is texting this person going, you jerk, what? And he thought it was funny. And I'm like, look, I don't care what you think, how silly that is. You have to recognize that someone that has a fear or a phobia like that, you can't make a joke. It could be funny. Yes, I can laugh about it now. But in that moment, someone needs to recognize and understand just what that person's going through mentally and physically that they have no control over.
Right.
And that's one of my things about scars and fears, because I mean, no, I don't talk to him or date him anymore after that. But it's one of those things that I put out there saying, I'm all happy to go play scare pranks on people, and you can scare me, but be mindful, I'm going to hit first and ask questions later.
Right. What do you talk about? What do you talk about in the book about it? Do you talk about just specifically that? Trying to overcome them, or
because in the book I just basically talk about like that is a fear that someone can have, and for someone not to poke, not to bully, not to make fun, but recognize that that could be a serious problem, and maybe that person just needs you to help them calm down, help them breathe. Don't antagonize it. Don't make it worse and go, oh, look, it's just a frog. Like don't put that in their face, because you can actually cause severe problems to the point where if the person is elderly and they have this problem, you can cause them to have a heart attack. I mean, it's that bad. So in the book, I just explained to them, step back for a moment and recognize that this is something that you don't experience, but maybe that person just needs your help for a moment, and then you can laugh about it later. And I'm big about, you have to laugh about it. I mean, if you fall down in front of a group of people, yes, everybody's going to check to make sure you're okay, but laugh about it. You have to.
If you can, that would be a good remedy for sure.
Oh yeah.
To laugh about
definitely.
it.
Yeah.
I think your weight loss was a big deal too.
Yeah. I jokingly say the first 200 pounds walked out the door.
What do you mean? I don't get what you mean.
The ex-husband.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm very short. Things go over my head very easily.
So
I'm only 5 feet tall.
Yeah, well, I'm 5'5", so I get you. And mind you, I have a 6'7" son, so it's like, But you don't realize how much.
We froze, but we're trying to resolve it.
Okay.
Trying to resolve it. Stick with me, people. You're frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen too.
You are frozen, Andrea.
Yeah. There you are.
Okay, move. Are you moving?
Yes, I am moving.
No, you're still frozen.
Well, you're frozen again, so like I got you for a second moving and then you froze again.
Again. Here we are.
Oh, there you go.
So, you know what, people? Just let me talk for a second. Mostly for my podcast people that are not on YouTube. I am doing this all by myself. My podcast, the new version. I do have 8 or 9 episodes that I did last year, but I had somebody helping me with it. And nobody's helping me this time around. So be patient with me. So you might go in bits and drabs of no talking or whatever and it freezing up. Same with the YouTube
But
people.
that's life.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I know that's life. Just like what you were saying. You
Hmm.
got to laugh about it. You can't
Yeah.
get too upset about it. So I'd like to, hear about, I mean, did you have to lose weight because of health reasons? Was it just
Well,
something?
I wanted to lose weight for health reasons because one, it's going to be easier on my joints, and two, my son always jokes and goes, Mom, when I started losing the weight, he's like, Mom, when did you get a Kardashian butt? And I'm like, I've always had one. You just never knew it because I covered it up. And I've always been a big chested woman to the point where I had a reduction a long time ago and they grow back when you hit menopause. So it's like,
Yeah.
so I'm just meant to just, be big bootied and big chest. I mean, that's just the way it is. But I was a weight trainer for years when I was younger. I actually worked with Corey Everson back in the day.
I know
And
Corey Evison. I don't know personally, but
yeah, yeah.
wow.
So, yeah. So
What do you
I
mean
would,
you worked with her?
yeah, I was actually the body painter of all the bodybuilders
What,
and
spraying
stuff.
tan?
Like I
The,
painted
the
them with a
tan.
stain brush and
Oh,
yeah, right
cool.
before they would go on stage and stuff. Yeah.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah. But and then of course I did all the workouts. I mean, I worked out 6 days a week nonstop. I mean, I had the six pack and everything. And I just wanted to be healthier. So the weight loss came from, you know what? This is my second failed marriage. He didn't leave because I was heavy. He didn't, it wasn't anything to do with that. Um, but I just wanted to be better for myself. I wanted to be healthier for myself. It was going to be better on my body. And I became happier and I liked it. And it just started, the sleeping started happening. Now I still have moments where I don't sleep, but that's just me in general. I mean, my whole family's like that. But once the weight started falling off and then I got that confidence back, people were like, it's Andrea again. She's back. She's happier. And then things started falling into place because my life started making sense and I didn't have that stress. I didn't have that I want to hide. I want to, and even now, gaining a little bit of the weight back through all this quarantine and stuff. And I had a little episode in January with the back. And it didn't stop me. I'm like, okay, it's no big deal. Get back up on your feet, do it again. And I was smart enough and had a good team at the gym that I'm at that I recorded all my workouts because I had to go and show my doctor what it was that they were doing in class so that they can tell me, yes, you can try that. No, try it this way. And it worked out perfect because now I have everything. So even during this quarantine time and stuff, we can go back to the gym, but I really don't want to be in a room full of people that were not wearing masks and stuff. But I have everything that I can just turn it on my phone, connect my phone to my television, and I can work out at home. And I have
Mm-hmm.
so many different videos. And when we were shut down and we couldn't go to the gym, I was posting them every week. Like, hey guys, here's this week. Hey guys. And they all were like, this is perfect because it would be that whole hour class. And they were just like, oh, that's amazing. We're so glad you did that. And
Mm-hmm.
it helped them get through it too. Like, because that's your getaway.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to swim. I actually swim with a mermaid tail, like a little
Mm-hmm.
kid's mermaid tail. And it's
Oh,
the
in a
best.
mermaid tail?
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just fits on your feet. And it's
Yeah.
my niece has one. And I was like, I have small feet. I could fit in that. So I went and got one and I have goggles and everything. And I just And I lost 6 inches in my waist just swimming with that thing. And it's a
If
workout.
you like, yeah, if you like swimming's not my thing. Like I like the ocean, but growing up, I had a pool and I used to swim all the time during my bulimic days where it was like all about losing weight, moving my body, blah, blah, blah.
Mm,
So it could be connected to that where I just don't like
right.
going in a pool at all. I just have no desire. And also just because it's not weight bearing, I like weight bearing exercise, putting my feet to the ground, doing something, putting your feet to the ground, building bone. But if you like swimming and you're going to do
Well,
it,
see, the
it's
swimming is
awesome.
best for me because I can't
Your
run
joints.
anymore. Yeah, I can't
Who
run
wants to
anymore.
run? No, I'm not saying running. Believe me, I
Right.
wouldn't recommend running to anybody.
Well, no,
Just
because now
I, I like
my,
running. I mean,
I do too,
but
but now my
you
running's in the deep end
have
of the pool. I run in place in
great.
the deep end of the pool.
So that's good. You have the resistance of the
Yeah.
water,
And then
but
there's no,
running is bouncing and jarring
yeah.
because you're running. You're
Right.
putting so much stress on your joints and your lower back, and if you happen to be heavier, you're putting more on. So I
Or
wouldn't.
top heavy, that's hard to
Yeah,
run,
never recommend clients unless they love to run and that's something they want to do and they're doing it correctly. They have the right sneakers and all.
Hmm.
Okay, but honestly, walking. Why
Yeah.
not? Walking
And
is
then,
like
well, and
the
that's why I
best.
love having my dog because now I get to walk my dog around and she's the reason that gets me out walking in the neighborhood, you
Yeah,
know?
it's the
I
best
mean,
form of exercise.
I always wanted to walk around, but my son would never want to go with me. And to me, walking by myself, I had my radio on and stuff like that, but I didn't feel like it was a purpose for me. Like, okay, it's the same scenery, the same area. And now I have my dog and it's like, okay, now I'm training her and I'm walking her. So it's fun. And people look at her and they're like, oh, she's so cute. And then they see how well behaved she is now. And so it's fun. But like even in the swimming pool, we have a no bounce dive board. So I do all my pull-ups and lifts, and then I can lay my body flat and do complete body pull-ups with my arms and shoulders with the water resistant. And the
That's
doctor
awesome.
was, yeah, and he was just like, the results that you've gotten out of this is just amazing. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I
So,
can imagine. It's beautiful.
yeah.
Wonderful. So give me a beautiful conclusion to your beautiful story. And let the audience hear about where you are now, what's going on.
I am well, now I am officially quarantined as of today again because we have to go take COVID testing and stuff like that to be on sets. So I've done my COVID testing today and now I'm officially quarantined and I will be quarantined for the next 3 weeks
Oh
because,
wow.
well, what happens is once I get the results and I send them over the negative results, then that puts me in the pool for all the filming that's out there now. And then
Hmm.
they find the category where I can fit in and stuff. And there's something that's going on right now that I can't discuss about, because of contracts and stuff. But
Hmm.
even though I did today's test, once that test comes back today negative, then they'll do a series of 5 days in a row of testing. And once you have that 5 days in a row of negative testing, then they put you in like this bubble and they keep you there with everybody else that's negative. And then we're filming a big show and I'm excited. So
Oh, so great.
yeah.
So you got a part in something. You can't tell
Yeah.
me yet, but
Yeah.
that's okay. We'll see it.
It's not
Well,
official yet. I mean, I have to go through all the testing and get all the negative results. But I mean, once all that's done, then yeah.
I
So
have
I'm excited.
I'm sending you really good vibes your way.
Yeah. Thank
Good
you.
vibes. That's what it says on my shirt. Good
Yeah.
vibes. So it was really wonderful to get to know you.
Absolutely love
I,
talking to you.
yeah, it's awesome. Where can people get in touch with you, or where can they find you?
Um,
Do you have a
I
website? Do you have?
I am on Facebook. It's just my name, Andrea Mairo, and the
You
TikTok is
froze up
Lady.
again. People, I'm
Uh-oh.
so sorry. You're free. Yeah, you're freezing up, Andrea. Hold on one second.
Yeah, I can see the
Hold
dark
on.
clouds coming.
Be patient, people.
We definitely gonna be getting some
Okay.
bad weather here in a minute.
Yeah, no. So you're frozen, but we can hear you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, you froze up on me too, but I can hear you.
okay, you're
Yep.
back.
Yay!
Okay, so I know you are on Facebook. What is it?
Andrea Mairo.
Okay.
And then, of course, TikTok is Lady Tigress.
Lady Tigress on TikTok. So spell your last name for people.
Mairo.
Oh,
Maiuro.
Maiuro.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to hang out for a second while I give my little spiel. All right,
Absolutely.
everybody. So all this information will be in the notes below. And I am giving out my Google phone number for anybody who has any questions for me or would like to be on the show or has any feedback, would like to see anything on the show. My number is 609-429-4058. And all my info will be in the notes, my website, what else? My email, my TikTok. All right. So anything you need is going to be there. The only thing that I talk about on the show, if you've joined me before, will know that it's the Rawr bar. It's the only packaged thing I eat. The company is beautiful. They give 10% of their net proceeds to feed the hungry children worldwide. Any kind of diet can have this bar. I love the bar. I so often. We're always on the run, right, people? I mean, we're very
Mm-hmm.
busy. I always have these on hand. They're always in my purse. Rawr bar, Rawr. They are protein packed, organic ingredients, 11 to 13 net carbs, which is really nice. No artificial sweeteners, coconut oil, coconut nectar, blackstrap molasses, and Himalaya salt to sweeten and to keep the product together. Owned by Jake and Rachel, very young couple in Minnesota. They're just wonderful people. So that link is going to be below. That's my affiliate link. So if you do check them out, and I hope you do, please buy from that page because it helps me and it helps them. And on that note, thank you, Andrea, for joining me.
You're
I
very welcome.
appreciate you, and I will see you hanging out on TikTok. And
Yeah.
everybody, have a wonderful and blessed day, morning, night, wherever it is, whatever it is in your neck of the woods.
And don't forget, don't settle for a silver lining. Go for gold or platinum, baby.
Hey! Right on. All right. Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you.